Hello everyone, and thank you for being part of the Arsenal chapter. Declan Rice is the football player that we are talking about. A lot is happening, a lot is being done about transfers when it comes to the club Arsenal. Arsenal is trying its level best to make sure that they can get the best of transfers this time round. I must say, and I must admit, I like the way Arsenal is doing business when it comes this transfer season. Unlike other transfer seasons, this time Arsenal is getting the best of football players. Arsenal isn't going for young football players to come and get developed at the club. Arsenal is going for superstars. I mean, we're talking about Declan Rice. We're talking about Kai Havertz. We're talking about who's next. Urian Timber, all these football players that have been linked and those that have definitely had done deals at the club. Almost all of them are established, and really for some time Arsenal has not had this, and I think it's something that is positive, you know. So I will remember that very many football players at the club Arsenal are heading for an exit. We've had latest coming in that we're going to see quite a big number of football players leaving the club, and we're going to see more football players, a big number of football players coming in. It's going to be a big reshuffle for getting to get prepared for football players to get in. A few coming in, a few going. That's how it's gonna be. Anyway, so with Declan Rice will remember that 120 million pound is what West Ham came out and said that they needed for the football player Declan Rice, but Arsenal had to negotiate until it came to 105 million pound, and 105 million pound is really, I must say, it's not bad for Declan Rice, with the fact that Arsenal put in the first bid, which was 80 million pound, and after 80 million pound, Arsenal put in a second bid, which was 90 million pound, and still all those bids were rejected, and Man City also came on board and put in 90 million pound that was rejected. Arsenal showed quite a bit of strength and power that they are definitely not giving up, going for the third one, and that was the one that won the football player. It has been said that the football player is now very much into a move. Everything is done. The medical was passed. When we talk about Declan Rice, the medical is definitely passed, and not forgetting that also West Ham has come out and said that it's finalizing the paperwork for Declan Rice. It's finalizing the paperwork to let Declan Rice out of the team, and to officially get rid of him. And it will be remembered that if the lawyers of Arsenal are trying to seal this deal, put this deal to conclusion, as everything has already been done, and what is only being waited for is just the official announcement, which we anticipate that it could be any time from now. Right about now, if we say Declan Rice is an Arsenal football player, I think we will definitely be right 100%, because at this point where the deal is, it is really, I think it's only fair to say the deal is done, because at this point in time it's a no return deal, and as you already know that Declan Rice cannot go back to West Ham now, and not any other club can really have him. It's really confirmations 100% that Declan Rice is gonna play for the club Arsenal, and that's really something that is great. So, and I've had a few people asking me about Declan Rice, and I think about whether it's true that Declan Rice is really gonna play for the club Arsenal. I think that is answered. It's 100% true. 100. I think even if I say 100%, it's not enough. I think I should say 120% or 105%. The amount of money that he was bought. Anyway, he's a very good one, and I think the defensive midfield at the club Arsenal is going to be sorted. Everything is going to be sorted with Declan Rice. A very good football player, a very wonderful football player, very disciplined when he's been in the World Cup and also in the Euros. You've seen how good he is. It's definitely a very wonderful one, and there is nothing that will stop the club Arsenal from definitely really making him excel in the fact that he's been at West Ham, which is quite a smaller club than Arsenal. He's managed to excel while he's at Arsenal. He's played while he's at West Ham. He's played big clubs when he's at West Ham, and his section has always been sorted. No mistakes whatsoever. Everything has always been running as anticipated. Everything has been falling in place for the club. West Ham in the defensive midfield, everything has been going on well just because of that single football player, Declan Rice. And if he brings to Arsenal what he has been doing at the club West Ham, then we will definitely have to say that the defensive midfield at Arsenal is definitely sorted. So that's something that is very good, getting a Premier League football player. And also it's a record transfer in two ways, and one of the ways is that there is no English football player who has ever been bought such an amount of money. £105 million is the record for English football players. Nobody has ever been bought that amount of money as long as he's an English football player from England. That's what I mean. And also it's a transfer record for the club Arsenal that involves big money. I mean, £105 million. The last time Arsenal spent quite a bit of money, a lot of money actually, it was in 2019, and that was with the football player Nicolas Pepe. Nicolas Pepe had to take around that transfer took £72 million, and you can see the difference from £72 million to £105 million. That shows you how serious Arsenal is when it comes to transfers and when it comes to majorly this season, this transfer season. Arsenal, why Arsenal is spending money? Arsenal wants the league title. Arsenal wants the Premier League title, and that's why Arsenal is spending huge amounts of money. Loads and loads amounts of money, and I think let's hope that Arsenal is going to get the trophy, and let's pray that Arsenal really takes the trophy, because looking at how much they have spent, really how much Arsenal has spent, and the quality of football stars that is at Arsenal right about now, I think every club should be worried about Arsenal. Every club should be worried about Arsenal. And looking at the likes of Bukayo Saka, who is already there, and looking at Smith Rowe, who is a very good one. Looking at the defense that has William Saliba, Martin Odegaard in the midfield right there, a reinforcement in the midfield again. Looking at Kai Havertz already there, and looking at Urian Timber finalizing his deal. Really, it shows you that Arsenal is doing very well. Quite well. So Arsenal is doing a good job, really, and I think it's a way better squad than what it was last season. It's a very big squad and a better squad. Everybody was complaining about depth. Oh, there is a big problem with depth with the squad Arsenal, and I'm one of those people who said, who also complained. I was saying the football players at Arsenal, really, there's something missing last season, but it really came out. Mikel Arteta has really come out and addressed the fact that there is not any section at this point in time that you can see that is sort of lacking. When you look at the defensive section, it's all sorted. When you go to right-sided defensive midfielders, and also look at left-sided defensive midfielders, everybody that is in that section is a solid football player, and everybody who's linked to the club in that section, definitely. Left-sided central defenders and also right-sided, left-sided and right-sided, all of them are definitely quite good. And right-sided defensive midfielders and the left-sided defensive midfielders, they're looking at the defense itself, the right backs of Arsenal. Everything is really falling in place. The wingers, the strikers, really midfielders, all attacking midfielders. You can tell that Arsenal is building. It's not building for 10 years. It's building. Arsenal is building for next season. Arsenal wants the trophy next season. And don't be astonished when Arsenal wins the English Premier League title next season. And look at look at a club like Manchester City, which is in the first position, which took the Premier League title anyway. When you look at how they've managed, what they are doing in this summer transfer window right about now, there's nobody there. There's nobody. I know they've got Haaland, they've got good football players in there, but they've not added to that team. It's the same old team. It's the same team that they had the last season. And right about now, I think Arsenal is really getting much better every other day, and they definitely want to win the coming season. Thank you for being part of this podcast, and make it a point to subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to you as long as this sport and as long as it is Arsenal related, right about here at the Arsenal chapter with me, your very host Abu Carlos. As I tell, thank you and goodbye for now.